ringraziare il mio amico, il primo ministro Abiy Ahmed, per la calorosa accoglienza e la preziosa collaborazione nell'organizzazione di questo summit, appuntamento che si svolge alla vigilia di un momento altrettanto solenne, che è l'Assemblea dei Capi di Stato e di Governo dell'Unione Africana, alla quale avrò domani l'onore di intervenire. Ringrazio per questo il Presidente Youssouf, il Presidente Lorenzo, per l'invito, oltre che per il sostegno che l'Unione Africana ci ha sempre garantito in questi anni. 2 anni fa, quando ho avuto l'onore di ospitarvi a Roma, abbiamo assunto un impegno molto ambizioso,
took a commitment, a very challenging one,
e cioè scrivere una pagina
that is to
nuova
say
nella
to
storia
write a
delle
new
nostre
page
relazioni,
of the history of
costruire un
our
modello
relations
completamente diverso
by
di
a completely
cooperazione
different model of
fondato sulla fiducia e sul
trust
rispetto
and
reciproco.
on mutual
Una cooperazione da pari a pari,
cooperation.
lontana da qualsiasi tentazione predatoria, ma anche dall'approccio paternalista. Per lungo tempo ha distorto i rapporti tra l'Africa, l'Europa, l'Occidente e ha spesso impedito alle nostre nazioni di comprendere le straordinarie peculiarità, ma soprattutto le straordinarie potenzialità dei popoli africani. Da allora, da quella summit 2 anni fa, sono stati anni di lavoro intenso, ma anche concreto ed efficace, anni nei quali abbiamo dato forma al piano Mattei per l'Africa, lo abbiamo radicato nei nostri sistemi istituzionali, lo abbiamo fatto crescere così tanto che oggi viene riconosciuto non più come un'iniziativa italiana, ma come una strategia di respiro internazionale. E questo è stato possibile grazie alle sinergie strutturate che abbiamo costruito insieme alle principali agenzie delle Nazioni Unite, ringrazio il segretario Guterres, insieme all'Unione Europea, all'Unione Africana, al G7, ai tantissimi partner che condividono la nostra visione, dall'Europa fino al Golfo, passando per l'Africa orientale. Così facendo abbiamo la presunzione di credere che stiamo contribuendo a rivoluzionare il modo di guardare all'Africa e conseguentemente di agire in Africa. Oggi il piano Mattei è una realtà operativa e strutturata che genera risultati tangibili per i nostri popoli, che può contare su un'architettura finanziaria
and innovative, which is the result of the precious cooperation we have established with the World Bank, the institutions operating internationally. Over the past 2 years, we have launched and completed concrete projects of great social impact. We have invested billions of euros in terms of public and private resources, and we have done it by adopting a method engaging the best energies of the Italian people in a teamwork that is enhancing the whole system. Italy is present here with many representatives, and I would like to thank them all, businesses, universities, world of cooperation and research. So a heritage of best practices that have worked in a coordinated manner to pursue a common goal. And this goal is not that of putting in place a mere package of projects, but actually to build a pact between free nations, you and us, that choose to work together because they trust each other and they are looking for cooperation areas where they can stand out and make the difference with a view to sharing common benefits. It is a method that is proposing concrete solutions, that is generating benefits that can be easily verified, especially from a strategic standpoint for our common growth. I'm thinking of energy, where we have chosen to focus on interconnection between the 2 shores of the Mediterranean and to focus on renewables and biofuels, respecting the principle of technological neutrality, which is key for a green transition that is sustainable but also compatible with our economic and production systems. We were able to build a new public-private paradigm. That's another pillar of our cooperation, and then food security by supporting local businesses, generating quality employment, but also supporting technology innovation and access to water. We have reinforced cooperation in physical and digital infrastructure in different regions of Africa, because without connections, there's simply no such a thing as growth, and there can't be integration with the global markets. We have cooperated in the healthcare sector to make the systems stronger and more accessible. We have worked on industry, employment and development of the private sector with a special focus on young people. Because clearly, every project that belongs to the Mattei Plan has something in common, so a focus on education and training. Because our goal is not that of creating new dependencies, but to support the protagonism of the African peoples and help them be redeemed. And this is possible only if we place more value on the human capital. And this has to be done since the very first years of schooling. That is why, along with Nigeria and the partnership with the Global Partnership for Education, we've mounted a campaign to raise $5 billion and improve the quality of education for 750 million children in more than 91 countries. And I will be happy to co-chair in June a summit with President Tinubu. So this is our approach, because the challenge of a totally new cooperation, which we are rising up to, is above all based on the ability that Africa has to live off its wealth, thereby processing the raw materials without letting them be taken from others, by growing their land, by growing crops on their land. We're not interested in exploiting migration to have low-cost labor to use in our industry. We want to fight against the deep causes that are pushing too many young people to flee their countries of origin, where they were born and raised, that prevents them from contributing to the development of their own countries. It is a choice of responsibility, of a shared responsibility, and not short-term compromise. And we did that not because we want to sound arrogant, as it happened in the past, by imposing things from the top. We want to build things together. We want to find solutions together with humbleness and with respect. And not, despite all this, the goal of this summit is not to celebrate what we have done so far, but it is that of thinking together about what we can still do to make the Mattei Plan be even more efficient, more pragmatic, and more consistent with the needs of the countries involved. Because if there's one thing that we've learned over the past few years, is that the success of this initiative depends on our ability to keep listening, our ability to be ready to, fine-tune our approach by learning from our mistakes, drawing inspiration from African wisdom. No track can be drawn without meeting stones on our path, but it's thanks to that stones and that rocks that we can walk and that we can move forward. We want to continue in this direction, being aware that the results that we have achieved are not, the end point, but are seeds that have been sown to have a richer and more thriving crop. So if we can stick to this approach, and I'm sure that we will contribute all together in our own roles to make the lesson that we have learned from a giant of our time, John Paul II. We are all truly responsible for everyone. So this is our approach. This is the epitome of what is moving us. And this is what we want to keep doing. So thank you. Thank you, everyone, for what we have built together over the past few years. But thank you also for attending today to show that we still want to continue to work together. Thank you. I'll hand the floor over to the Prime Minister of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed Ali. Thank you.